Hello students, how are you today? My name is Sailesh Bhatia from eSkill Point. In the last video we talked about the Pythagorean triplets. Today we will go a little deeper into what is 30 60 90, 45 45 90. Now these are two types of triangles and we will try and understand what is the science behind the length of the sides proportionate to the hypotenuse in both these triangles. So without wasting much time, let us quickly get this bite of information which will again help you to score some marks. And remember, our videos are not lengthy, they help you to understand the concept. So we are going to directly get into the depth of 30 60 90. So we should always remember that you have a right angle triangle in a Pythagorean theorem. There are two sets of theorems which are in your chapter, and we would be talking about these two mentioned in this video. Okay, look at these triangles 30 60 90 and 45 45 90. Now some basic knowledge before we go ahead. Whenever you refer to a right angle triangle, you would be saying in triangle LMN. So pay attention, the M always is in the center because it denotes the 90 degree. It is just a good way of representation. And how would you call this triangle? I would call it ZX and Y because the X here is actually 90 degrees. So always refer to the triangles with the 90 degree mentioned in the center of the three letter notation. What do we have here now? Let's see. So let us look at what is the property of a 30 60 90 triangle. You are all aware that a triangle has 180 degrees internal angles. So we have one of the angles as 90. The remaining two angles become total of 90 degrees. So in case one of the angles, acute angles, is 30, the other one automatically becomes 60. Now having said that, let us understand what is the property that we want to learn from this kind of an arrangement. So if the acute angles of a right angle triangle are 30 and 60, then the side opposite 30, pay attention to this, the side opposite 30 degrees angle is half of the hypotenuse, period. Now this is an important thing that you have to remember. Side opposite 30 is half of the hypotenuse. That's not too difficult to remember. The other one, and the side opposite to 60 degrees angle is root 3 upon 2 times the hypotenuse. Now that's not too difficult to remember. So in the 30 60 90, you need to just understand 30 60, okay, 30 is half of 60, but again you just need to memorize half. The minute you get half of what? Half of the hypotenuse. Let us look at one of the problems moving ahead. So like I mentioned, in the triangle is LMN, this triangle we are talking about, where MM is 90, okay, which we have mentioned here. The acute angles are L, which is 30 and 60. So we're talking about the side opposite 30, which is MN. So therefore the side opposite 30 degrees is half the size of LN. Okay, now let's imagine if LN is the hypotenuse, which is 6. So MN is half of the hypotenuse, which is half of 6, which is 3. And we do remember the side opposite 60 degrees is root 3 upon 2 of the hypotenuse. You can see this illustration root 3 upon 2 times 6 is 3 root 3. Having understood this, we will move ahead and we would understand the next arrangement, which is 45, 45, 90. The property of 45, 45, 90 triangle, you need to understand there is not much to remember. Very easy. It's as simple as that, because the hypotenuse is not the perpendicular side. The 90 degrees gets perpendicular at angle 90. So what is the length of this sides which make this triangle? It is 1 upon root 2. Let's understand, if acute angles of a right angle triangle are 45 and 45, that means we have two sides which have the same length. What is the length of those sides? It is 1 upon root 2 of the hypotenuse. Now that's easy to remember. Look at this triangle. We have made this triangle. It is z, x and y, x being 90 degrees. So we have assumed that the side opposites 45 degrees is x, y, and if zy, now here we have assumed that zy is the hypotenuse. So zy, they have given the length as 3 root 2. That's it. Using this as our data, we would safely say that 1 upon root 2 times the hypotenuse would be the other side, the length of the other sides, which means we have two sides here, xy, we have to find this xy, and we have to find the length of zx. So here xy and zx are same, which is root 3 times root 3 2, which is again hypotenuse, into 1 upon root 2. The calculation is very simple. We come to the conclusion that the length of the sides which form the perpendicular are 3 centimeters, because that is what the data was given. My dear friends, this was easy. What we have done is very, very basic. We have done two properties, 30, 60, 90, and we have done 45, 45, 90. So to reiterate one more time, do you remember 30, 60, 90? The side opposite 30 is half the size of the hypotenuse, and the side opposite 60 is root 3 upon 2 the hypotenuse. And for 45, 45, 90, we have a very simple formula. The perpendicular sides are 1 upon root 2 times the hypotenuse. So friends, thank you very much for watching this video. We will keep it very simple, very basic, and again it just would take 5 to 7 minutes. You have to watch this video over and over again if you really want to memorize, but there is nothing to memorize. It's as simple, and you can prove it. There are theorems associated with this, how you can actually deduce this formula. For further reading, you will have to refer to your textbook, but for now, for a quick understanding, this video should give you sufficient knowledge, and it should give you sufficient information on how to handle a 30, 60, 90 or how to handle a 45, 45, 90 triangle, which is right angle triangles, and get the sides, get the length of the sides based on the formulas. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to us, and we would be putting our lessons regularly for you to benefit. Do share this with your friends for their easy understanding, and it would also help us if you can start commenting, so that we can start getting better for your benefit. Thank you. Bye bye.